The man charged with second-degree murder in Trayvon Martin's death has arrived at a Florida jail after turning himself in. That story first tonight on your news at 11.
Copper theft is a problem everywhere, now even down on the farm. We'll explain how a series of thefts in Levy County could affect what's in your wallet. Plus, it's the confession that will bring Joshua Fulgham's murder trial to a pretty quick conclusion. It'll soon come down to the sentencing rather than the question of guilt or innocence. Those stories and more at the TV 20 News at 11 starts now.
Now, from your local source, TV 20 News at 11 in high definition.
Tonight, George Zimmerman has a mugshot. He is currently behind bars in the Seminole County Jail charged with second-degree murder. Special State Attorney Angela Corey made the announcement this evening in Jacksonville. Zimmerman claimed self-defense in the shooting that killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Florida's Stand Your Ground law has kept Zimmerman out of jail until tonight. Good evening. There was a lot of public pressure to get the criminal case to move forward.
And tonight, there's no end to the public reaction now that the first step has been taken. Now that it's a criminal matter, TV 20's Trent Kelly shows us how a lot of people are now adopting a wait-and-see attitude.
Yeah, that's right, Dave and Paige. It's been more than a month since the unarmed 17-year-old was killed while walking home from a convenience store. With Zimmerman now facing charges, many, though, are wondering what took so long.
Justice delayed is better than justice denied, but I'm curious as to why now.
A question being asked by nearly everyone today.
Today, we filed an information charging George Zimmerman with murder in the second degree. For
some University of Florida students who watched the charges announced live on television, today's decision is comforting on one level, but also raises questions about law enforcement's handling of the case.
Just the racial aspects of it, I think are a big part of it. There was profiling. I think that there was, a play there that can't be ignored.
An opinion shared by community activist Reverend Milford Griner.
And I think that speaks to the fact that we still have some deep-seated race issues that we have to talk about.
He specifically takes issue with the state's controversial Stand Your Ground law, which initially protected Zimmerman from facing any criminal charges.
Even some of the well-intentioned laws have flaws.
And after a man in Gainesville claimed to be attacked last week by teens seeking revenge for Martin, some in the community now fear more revenge attacks will soon follow. Gainesville's police chief, though, says his agency is trying to lower those tensions.
And we will hope that the citizens of Gainesville will allow the courts to try the matter in a court of law.
A sentiment echoed by many as Central Florida and the rest of the state now tries to move on.
We also need to come together in prayer, and in unity, not to use this particular situation to cause further detriment, but to at least start with some healing.
And Zimmerman is expected to make his first appearance in court tomorrow and will announce his plea sometime within the next few weeks. In the meantime, others plan on keeping to push the state legislature to review the Stand Your Ground law, or at least alter it to ensure another case like this never happens again. Trent Kelly, TV 20 News.
Time now to take a first look at the weather, and if you have traveling to do tomorrow morning, please allow some extra time due to the fog and the smoke.
And the smoke may have cleared up this afternoon around north central Florida, but it is certain to be back in the morning, Bill Quinlan.
That's right, Dave. We had a big wind shift from the north from the west to the east later on, and now the wind is shifting more out of the north, and it's been very dry out there. Take a look at the viewer photo for today. You can see this scary dock on a lake, and the lake is just drying up. We need to get some rainfall in here. Maybe some rain for next week, but that's about it. Looking at storm vision radar, you can see the area of smoke back up to the north coming up on the radar side here, and we have been watching the smoke begin to build back in and heading a little bit further to the south, so that's going to be a big problem. And here we have the dense smoke advisory in effect until early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Here's your forecast as we head through the evening hours. Overnight, 60 degrees, 11 o'clock, 53 by 3 a.m. A little cooler tonight, but that is actually going to cause some problems in the morning as it keeps the smoke closer to the ground. We'll show you where it's going to build up and where it's going to go in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Bill. Well, so far, more than 30,000 acres have burned due to a fire on the boundary between Baker and Columbia counties. Now that smoke has reached Gainesville. The fire is in the Osceola National Forest. It all started on April 5th due to a lightning strike. The fire is currently 25% contained, but still affecting residents. Some who work outdoors are now wearing masks. Health experts say it's a good idea to protect yourself from the smoke.
If you don't have to be outside right now, then stay inside. If you have air conditioning, use it. Make sure that your fresh air vent is closed so that you're recirculating the air inside.
He also says it's a good idea if you have to be outside. The best thing to do is to take frequent breaks and try your best to limit your exposure.
Some farms in north central Florida are being short-circuited by copper thieves, and it very well may cost consumers at the grocery store. 4 men are now behind bars, though, after stealing copper wire from a water irrigation device. TV 20's Duke Carter is here to tell us it's a much bigger problem than mere vandalism.
I spoke to one farmer who was hit last week, and he says he wants everyone to know that this kind of theft could raise prices down the road. Levy County farmer Thomas Harper has been working for.
We've been back in the cattle business for about 13 years now.
And to be in business that long, he needs land, a lot of it.
How many acres of land do you own, by the way?
About 1,040.
He says he owns 4 pivots, water irrigation machines, but recently Harper had a problem.
Like anybody that's been vandalized or has been stolen from, you feel like you've been violated.
Violated because these 4 people are accused of stealing copper from pivots at 7 different farms. The copper was sold to local salvage yards, and it was worth a lot of money, $50,000.
They cut strips out of all of it, so it was a complete wiring job for this pivot.
Levy County deputies wouldn't reveal how they caught the 4 men, but say simply anyone who thinks about stealing copper should search for work instead.
The message is very clear. If they continue, it is a cost of doing business, and I would ask that they find an honest job.
But now, Harper wants to spread awareness that this crime doesn't only affect his business, it affects everyone.
If people know that they're going to get turned in, that they're not safe being a thief, then they're going to have second thoughts about stealing.
Now, the 4 men admitted in custody that they were going to hit Harper's place again. Levy County Sheriff deputies actually have an Ag Watch program to identify ownership of agricultural equipment if anything happens to be vandalized or stolen. Duke Carter, TV 20 News.
The city of Ocala received a setback on their quest to stop the Marion County School District from using stormwater utilities until they pay their overdue bill. A Marion County judge denied the injunction filed by the city attorney today. The city and the school district have been arguing over thousands of dollars worth of unpaid stormwater utility bills. The district stopped paying last November, citing other counties in Florida don't have to pay. The city, however, said they have to pay just like any other customer.
Parents in Alachua County are on alert after a case of chickenpox hits 2 schools in the county. There are about 65 cases so far of the chickenpox reported. 25 cases at the Alachua Learning Center, 26 at the Bhaktivedanta Academy. The health department has barred 20 unvaccinated children from coming to the Alachua County Charter School for 2 weeks or until they're vaccinated. The outbreak started Monday, the first day after spring break. Schools in Alachua County are required to follow the rules set by the health department.
A man's body was found in a deep ditch in Ocala today. Police found the partially decomposed body of a man at the bottom of a ravine, and they said the body had probably been there for a couple of days. According to police, a city worker called 911 today after noticing a foul smell in a heavily wooded area in the 1700 block of Martin Luther King Avenue in Ocala.
She ended up going down and finding what she thought was a partially decomposed body. At that point, she called the police department, and we responded and did indeed recover or find a deceased person.
Sergeant Mayer said they have not identified the body. He also said they have not yet determined how the person died or if it is a homicide investigation.
There was a chilling courtroom confession today from a man accused of killing his wife in Marion County. Joshua Fulgham is accused of murdering his wife. He doesn't seem to be contesting the accusation. As a result, TV 20's Natalia Martinez reports Fulgham may learn his fate sooner rather than later.
Hey. I'm sorry. Joshua Fulgham breaking down after confessing to detectives he and his girlfriend Amelia Carr killed his wife. Jury members saw the confession today in court. Hours of video between Fulgham and detectives telling them how they lured Heather Strong to Carr's house and suffocated her inside this trailer.
She was half down, and the maid had this black duffel bag, a big black duffel bag with a full handle, sitting right beside her.
Fulgham's mother wept as she heard her son admit to being a killer, all the while insisting Amelia Carr led the attack. And the apparent motive for the murder? Fulgham wanted to stop his wife from taking custody of their 2 children. But the prosecution continued to play Fulgham divulging graphic details of how they ended Strong's life.
She's halfway down, and this is draped over. Who picked her up out of the chair and put her on the floor?
We took this duffel bag. It was already out there right beside her. Okay. Me grabbed a leg, and I grabbed a leg, and we both held one side of the bag and pulled her down into it. Okay. And all of her wouldn't go in there. Okay. Her whole body wouldn't go.
Strong's mother sat through the videos, and tomorrow closing arguments are expected. Fulgham may face the death penalty if the jury finds him guilty of first-degree murder, just like they did his girlfriend, Amelia Carr, who now sits on death row.
Natalia tells us Fulgham's attorney, Terry Letterman, has explained that he thinks Florida's death penalty law is unconstitutional. Now, that question is now being determined by a federal appeals court.
A cry for mercy tonight for a convicted killer. The Florida Catholic Conference is asking Governor Rick Scott to spare David Allen Gore from the death penalty. Gore is scheduled to be executed tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for the murder of 6 women. While the conference doesn't defend Gore's actions, they say they believe the state should not be killing people.
The crimes committed by David Gore are absolutely horrendous, and they cry out to God for justice. But justice can be achieved without taking his life.
In 1983, Gore admitted to the murders. Gore, with the help of his cousin, kidnapped, tortured, raped, and dismembered the women before killing them.
Still to come, Florida's charter schools are getting an A+ from state education officials. A report just out shows charter school students perform better in the classroom than public school counterparts.
When we come back, public school officials, however, debate the research behind that report. We'll explain after the break.